Hey everyone, I'm Neomustic. Welcome to the first real video on how to model in Blender. So, because the model that I'm going to be making is going to be a house and it's going to be kinda advanced, but everything that I'll teach you guys in here you can use for other models as well. This is going to be a 3 parts video, probably 3 part. First part will be the modeling, second part will be the texturing, and the third part will be importing into Unity and getting the building set up, well, the creation set up, if that makes any sense. So let's jump right into it. I am first going to select these two and delete them because I don't need them. Deleting is X for those who don't know. And I'm going to go to my cube. Now, seeing that I'm going to be using Unity and I don't want to get all the trouble of assigning heights and stuff like that, I'm going to do that right here in Blender already. I'm sorry. I had some dirt on my screen and I don't want dirt to be on my screen. I have a lot of dirt on my screen, I should clean it. Okay, so Unity, it uses this point as a 0, 0, 0 point. So if you make your house or whatever model like this, all of this off of the object will be underground. You can change that by changing the location of origin and stuff like that. But I don't want to get into all of that trouble because here it's a lot easier. You just go into edit mode by pressing tab, or down here going to edit mode. And as you can see, the red line and for side view, the green line are going to be the bottom. You're going to drag this up, so G on the Z axis, so G, Z, and drag it up so it looks like it's on top of that. I held down Control while I did that to get it nicely on top of it. You can also move it like this, but yeah, G and Control. Okay, so now this is going to be the center point. I went to top view. This is going to be the center point of our little object. For now, because it's just a square, this is all fine. And for some games, this will be fine as well. But as we get into building other things, if you guys suggest me to do other things, we will get some problems with this. For now, like I said, it's all fine. But let's say SX 2. If I do it now, it's still fine, but not completely as fine as we would want it to be. Damn it, I have the hiccups now. Stupid me. So yeah, for our little cube, this is fine, but once we get into complex things like the house that we're going to be building, this is going to give us a little problem. But I'll show you guys in a minute or so. I'm first going to make a very fast representation of the house that I want to be making. So SX, let's say 2. Whoops, Control R to get this line. And I should be talking about that. So Control R gives you a line with which you can split up your object. If I do it here, you can see it's splitting horizontally. If I do it here, you can see it splits vertically. If I press plus or I scroll up, you can see I get more lines, and these are subdivisions. If I scroll down or press minus, the subdivisions will be less. The least you have to get is 1, or you press right click and it disappears. So I want to have 1 in the middle, so here, but we're not done yet. So now we can choose where we want this line to be. I want it to be in the middle, but if I press here, you can see it gets stuck right there. I don't want that. I want it to be in the middle, so I'm just going to press right mouse button and it's nice and centered. Okay, I'm going to select all these faces, so shift right click on all of them, and this entire face is selected. The easier way to do that is you can go down here, press the little face selection, and with one click you've got it as well. A house, you want it to be nice, and well, I like to work with nice lines. So in this case, I'm going to hold down Control and drag it out like so. You can also just drag it out, but you won't get that much um, accuracy on what you're doing. So I want the accuracy for this model. For a human model, it's not that necessary. And I'm going to put it down right there. Okay, so this is our base outline for the house. Let's get a roof in there. No, not that one yet. Let's get a nice roof in here, which I will be doing by selecting the edge tool. Like you can see, it's only this line being selected. I'm going to select all of these, not these, not those. And I'm going to drag this down. You could also select these and drag it up, but that would make my house too big. For this one, I want to do something differently. For now, this is all fine. I could make a separate box and attach it here and do it with that, but this is fine for now. I do want this to have a little roof, like somewhere over here. That should be high enough. Back to the dot selection thing, there's also a shortcut for that. Side view, because as you can see now, this doesn't look too nice, in my opinion at least. And I don't want that. I want the roof to be nice and clean. So I'm going to hold down Control, drag this one all the way over here to make it line up with the other line, with the frost line. And as you can see now, this looks a lot better. Okay, so this is going to be the basic for our house. For some people, this is more than enough. They don't need to have more than this for a house. But I want to make some sort of medieval, wooden, stone kind of structure. So I need to have more than just this. Okay, so let's do that right now. I'm sorry if I sound loud and silent. I'm actually moving a lot. It's hot, it's making me uncomfortable, and I don't like it. So I'm going to go here on the left side. Instead of tools, I'm going to go to the create button, and I'm going to create a cube. So again, this cube is underneath it. In this case, it doesn't really matter for what I'm going to do, but I am going to press S and scale it down to something like that. And that's the center point of what I'm making, but I don't need the center point to be there. As you can see, I've got a little extrusion, so I want to have the center point something like over here, so it's in the middle of this and in the middle of that. And I should do that in object mode. So here, now in edit mode, I'm going to drag this out to my corners. And this is something stupid to do because you'll need to do all of these separately now. There's actually a better way to do that, so might as well teach you guys the right thing. Unless you want to have different models on all of them, I would suggest you do it like what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so it doesn't matter that this one goes underneath the 0 point because it's just a little bit. I am, however, going to drag this out to the edge of the roof. And I'm going to press the little crossed bar thingy. It's next to the activation of the numpad button thing. Damn it. I'm really bad at explaining things. I'm sorry for that. I'm going for this one. I can delete the bottom one, but for now I'm not going to do that yet. I am, however, going to select all these edges. So this one, this one, this one, not the last one. This, and I'm going to select this one as well. If you ever made those little paper dice thingies or boxes in paper, you know that when you cut out the form from the paper, you'll have to cut the lines, and this is basically the same principle but reversed. So we're now going to make the lines. So you press spacebar, no, not merge, mark, seam. And as you can see, these lines are turning up red, so they're marked. I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to drag this out. I'm going to go to UV editor, make a new one, and I'm going to call it, well, RTS. What the? Oh, RTS house. Thank you. Oh, look here, RTS house. I don't know why it's turned up black. Yeah, I want to select this. And I'm going to select all of this. So A until everything is lit. Press U. And Smart UV project. As you can see, this is our beam, our little hole right now. I don't want it to be this big because we'll need to have the other parts of the house in here as well. I'm going to scale it down, and I'm going to give it a space right here. Okay, so that's done, but I don't like the way it looks. So just unwrap would be better instead of smart project. As you can see, it's a nice unwrapping like the little, whatchamacallit, dices that you make as a kid. So I'm going to scale this down like something like this, and I'm going to put it out of the image. Okay, so next step is going back to the object and dragging this out so we have our nice little corners done the way we want them to be. So Shift D to duplicate and putting them in the right location. I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to put it over here. I should make a couple more for the door and stuff like that, but I can do those later. It won't be too hard now. And I am going to delete, no, not this one. I'm going to press H to hide it, because now we'll have to get our little setup, well, our little frame going for our little house. Why am I doing this? When you want to have cursor to center, god damn it, cursor to center. I do need to get used to typing on this new machine, and I wanted to make this one bigger. Okay, so for the kind of house that I'm having in mind, I will need to have a little frame going. So basically, when someone wants to build a house, it goes like boop, and this frame will show up, and then the walls will start growing around it. It's just a little bit of information. Shift D, S point, well, let's say 9. So it's a little bit smaller. S point, no, S.8. Just make sure that it's inside the other object, or you can make it bigger as well. I want it to be smaller. You can choose whatever you want. And I'm going to do R90. I'm going to drag this one up over here. And I'm going to pull it out like so. This will warp your texture just a little bit, but nothing too much. Oops. L. God damn it. L. But not much enough so it will destroy your game or make it look less professional. And yeah, I'm going to pull it out just a little bit because I like the way those little outpull thingies look. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Like so. It's not really that equal. It doesn't have to be. Okay, like so. And this makes me think if I want to do the same thing over here, I'll need to have one more. There we go. It took the wrong one, but yeah. Like here, I'm going to X delete this face because I don't need it. And now L Shift D, I'm going to duplicate it over here. I'm going to duplicate it one more time over there. And I'm going to pull this one in to be nice and equal. Okay, so that's that. Come on, L, Shift D, RZ 90, because I wanted to rotate it on the Z axis. I'm going to put this one in the middle of here. Again, make it pull out just a tiny bit. And I'm going to do the same on that side. So it pulls out on all sides again. Again, L should make you select all of those faces, which it currently doesn't. Shift D and over here. So as you can see, this is starting to look a little bit more like a frame for a wooden house. One more, because I need to have one over here as well. Top view, and there we go. So our little frame for our little house is finished. This is basically the first part of our entire, well, thing. And if I press this button and I select all of that, as you can see, they're all the same as this one. Don't do a UV unwrap now because you'll have a lot more work to do. I can show you guys L. If I grab this, you can see all the others are still there. If I press U unwrap right now, it's going to give me a huge bunch of these little images right next to each other. I'll have to put them on top of each other one by one, which is not something that I like to do. It happens that I have to do that, but I really don't enjoy doing it. Okay, so Alt H, Alt H. Where did my house go? Alt H, there it is. Okay, so now we do need to get the roof done as well. And depending on what kind of game you're making or what you have in mind, this can look kind of different from what other people are working on. In my case, it will be, well, again, cartoonish. Well, not really cartoonish, but I will make this one the same as this one. Unless I might as well just do what I was thinking of doing. I'm going to go back to this view. I'm going to make this one smaller. So something like, that's going to be too small. Something like right here. And that means that I will have to make these ones shorter. Like there. And these ones need to come down as well. That also would mean that L, Shift D, rotate are 90. That I'll have to put these ones over here and here as well, because, well, it's smaller now. Side view and drag it in. Okay, so our roof. I am going to use this point, but I'm thinking how I should do it. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Shift D, I'm going to drag it right to the middle. Side view, and I'm going to drag it to the top. I want it to be inside of the other model because this is going to be the point where they connect. And now I'll need to have little beams going from here to there. That will mess up. Well, no, it won't. Okay. But I will need to make this one shorter as well. See, a lot of planning goes into this. Like this. L, Shift D right here. And luckily it's already the right size. Okay, like so. Now the big roof. L, let's see our object again. Our starting object, I mean. Okay, yeah. Shift D over here. And let's make it a little bit bigger over there. Okay, so now we have something to work with. It starts to look a little bit messy, but once it's textured, it will look better again. Good thing is we just need to texture one thing and it will all be fine. Now what you could do, and this is something that I that I do from time to time, you could take like this one, Shift D, pull it up to the right side, to the right height. I'm going to make it, I should be placing it a little bit lower, and then just do Control R, place a line right in the middle, take these two, no, not you, and pull them down again. And that's all fine, that looks fine. But once you texture it, you'll have a problem right over here. So I will use this setup though. But I will make it a little bit smaller. Scale 0.8, so that's a little bit smaller. I'm going to put it to the height that I want it to be, somewhere over here. Control R, and now I'm going to take these little sides and drag them down. Why do I do this? Well, as you can see, it looks like they're hitting all the sides and they're not coming out of here. And that's basically what I wanted to achieve. Shift D. I'm going to put this one over here. And I should be dragging the middle to more over there. But no problem. This is actually too far. But I can make one more in the middle of this, like so. Okay, so our house is getting built. As you can see, you've got a little overlapping right here, but that's no problem. I mean, it's like 10 seconds that this will show up. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Now the other things, Shift D, S.8. Again, drag it up to the height where you want it to be. I want it to be a little bit lower, higher. Control R, nice line in the middle. And basically the same principle. Like that. So yeah, it hangs out just a little bit, but that's not a big problem. And now, well, I need to have one over here, obviously. I need to have one over here, one here, and one in the middle. I could place two in the middle, but yeah. I think that would actually look a little bit nicer. So one here, one here, one here, one here. So this is going to be basically our little house. Of course, a house, it does need... God damn it, that scared me. A house, it does need a little door and a window, and all of those you can basically do with the same thing, just take some of these beams, put them where you want them to be, and I guess I might as well just do that. I'm going to do one little door and one little window. So here, scale 0.8, and as you can see, it's coming above the 0 point, so just drag it down so it goes underneath there. And one more like so. I think that should be good for a door. Now I want to use a big beam. I want a beam that's a little bit bigger than this one for the top part. God damn it. So Shift D, rotate 90, scale 1.1. It's a little bit bigger now. I need to drag it up somewhere over there. And I should have kept in mind that I was going to do this because now it looks bad. So, and I'm going to drag this one out just a little bit. Okay, so that's our door. The window is basically just the same thing. So I'm going to get all of these, Shift D, and I made my door a little bit too close to this side, but I don't care. And L, that should be a good height, well, a good size for a door, for a window, I mean, like so. Now I'm going to select all of these, scale 0.9. Didn't want to select you guys. So L, scale 0.9, L, scale 0.9. I keep saying L. For those guys who don't know what L does, it basically makes sure that you select everything. So if I'm on top of this and I press L, you can see it selects everything. So 0.9 SX, I'm going to make this one bigger than the lower one, and L S.9. S.9 basically means scale 0.9. So we've got our little setup for our little house. We've got the center point at the right location. So everything is going fine for now. Let's see how far I'm in. I'm in 27 minutes. Okay, I think I'm going to cut the video here, and in the next video we'll finish this house off and we'll get into texturing, which won't be too hard to do and won't take too long. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone. Oh yeah, give me thumbs up if you liked the little tutorial that I give you right now. Bye everyone.